And that's it on our political roundup story. So now let's begin the discussion. And I still have with me Aliyu Abdulaziz Idris. I beg your pardon, forgive me. But then, first of all, let me get your assessment on the current development of the offer Atiku is giving Peter Obi. Overall, what is your overall assessment?
Assessment is something that you have to look inward and outward of any action or reaction taken by at least the two political giants. Atiku is a well-known politician in Nigeria, and he has the capacity and the embodiment all there. Peter Obi is also a political giant nationally. So for them coming in together, as in offering as an Atiku now offer the Obi's vice presidential slot in one single tenure duration between the two people, I see it as it's part of politics. It's democracy we are, and one thing is it can happen. It's very, very possible. They did it in 2000
but the question is whether or not Peter Obi would accept it. The question is whether or not Peter Obi would accept that offer. Because when you look at it, Peter Obi is running for presidency. And on the other hand, Atiku wants to be president. So both giant, like you said, both want to be president. So who is going to step down for who? Do you think Peter Obi will accept that offer?
Yes, I think for him to be wise.
Mind you, he refused it the last time, and that was why he had to leave the Democratic Party.
In 2019, they were together, and they make an impact in 2019. Just a slight mistake they made, whereby Buhari won over them. Then in 2023, so many things happened in 2023, which lead to the fact that Obi has to leave PDP. Okay. And those reasons might not going to be exactly, or are not going to work as in this time around, because Peter Obi now, his party, the Labour Party, is having both internal and external crisis. So PDP too has its own political crisis inside it, internally. But I think the two of them, if they come together, looking by what happened in 2023, it's enough reason for them to understand that this is the right time. If they go separate way, as they used to say, united we stand, divided we fall. They are going to also fall if both of them go the other way. They will fall in 2027. The reason is that
but they haven't even agreed either.
In 2023, yeah, we are just giving our own opinion. Okay. But what you see was in 2023, Peter Obi's cost almost 6 million or 6 million plus. Likewise, as Atiku also score above 6 million. You understand? If you look at the two boards that comes up for them each, we would have not been talking of APC government at this time around. If you combine the two boards, Peter Obi and Atiku. So, to me, it's a welcome development. If they can do it, they can. They have the chances of winning to get the presidency, but they have to work hard, because Tinubu comes to an APC. They will not just fold their arms and be watching. Definitely, they will make moves to ensure. If you look at what is going on now with the problem of this defection, most of PDP members are moving to APC. NNPP are moving to APC. Many other, including Labour Party, most of their members now, they are coming back to APC. Meanwhile, most of these parties, PDP, LP, NNPP, they are all having internal crisis, which is man-made.
Okay.
But which, if they fail to resolve those internal problems between now and 2026, 2026, definitely, that means all these parties, they have to find another alternative, especially Atiku and Obi. Possibly, Obi will leave LP maybe, Atiku might leave PDP likely.
Okay.
I'm not saying they can go for they can look for another better. They will meet on neutral ground, one party. That is which they have to look at from now to some time to see which party will suit them for them to come together and form an alliance. But one thing we have to consider always is that Atiku has been looking for this presidency several times, and Peter Obi, the last time he asked for presidency is in 2023. Okay. So looking at what's the result, what they did in 2023, if really perhaps they will agree to come together, I'm telling you, they can, if they work hard, they can turn the table in their favor. You
really think they can? Well, viewers, at this point, let's open our phone lines for you to call in to join the conversation. Now, the question some people have on their lips is whether or not, if this is actually going to work, that some supporters of Obi, obedience supporters, might withdraw, because if Obi should accept the offer of a vice president, that means eventually, if peradventure they win, there is limitation to what he can do as vice president. Don't you think so?
There is, definitely. That's the problem we're always talking about. You can see today now, people used to call vice president or deputy governor as vice spare tires. You understand?
Okay.
Which, if the tires are good, that means for the whole term, vice president cannot work. You understand? He has no use. Being a spare tire.
It's limited to.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, sometimes this kind of alliances, the benefit of it is not just at that very particular moment, it's at the future. What I mean is, if Atiku says he's only looking for one single term, which means after that single term, if things goes as expected, goes good between the two of them, that means in 2031, he's going to raise the hand of Peter Obi as the next coming president. That's the meaning. Okay. By calculations, I think that's what they want to do. Understand? It can work. It can work depending on how they do it. But I'm telling you, still, FBC are not going to fold their arms. Definitely, they have to ensure that yes, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come back in 2027.
Okay, now members of the PDP have come out to say that they are not considering any form of coalition, but we can see Atiku Abubakar outside the party, making some moves, meeting people and all that, and it does look like Atiku is going to pick ticket outside PDP, and if he picks ticket outside PDP or whatever political party he will be picking the ticket from, talking about party ideology and the chances, do you think there is possibility for him to to even get the ticket?
There's that possibility. The problem is, if you look at the problem of PDP at this point of time, is mainly leadership. There are a lot of tussles. Who will be the chairman? Convention has not been yet done. Who is the secretary? Or they have all this time been in court. You understand, over problems of dispute on leadership and positions. So by the time they are able to resolve that problem, if it happens, then that means they're good to go. But by the time in the next coming months, if they fail to resolve all the differences in PDP and make it one, then definitely Atiku has no choice. I think I say he's not politically naive. So I knew he's every morning and before evening and every evening before dawn, he's doing his own researches. He's doing his work. He's doing his meetings, trying to find a better roadmap on how and where their calculations will come to work and ensure that they achieve what they wanted to achieve within this next coming election.
Well, I'm just curious to ask why other political parties have their internal crisis, the Labour Party, the PDP, and the internal crisis has affected the party so much that we could see members of the party leaving, even strong members, some are even founders of the party. So why it is a lose for the political party, it's an addiction and a win for APC, the All Progressive Congress. And looking at how the APC has begun to gather force and momentum so far to the and how the other party have equally dropped in terms of support and all that, do you think even coming together of Obi and Atiku can unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Is there any possibility of such?
No, no possibility. We should rule out anything like possibility or impossibility. Politics is something that you can hardly predict. Despite you see all these depictions that governors and whatever are moving into APC, Nigerians can decide a different thing. We are talking about 200
but
million
these
people.
leaders, in a way, have a way of getting to their constituents. That is the masses who are even giving out the votes.
Oh yes, of course. Of course.
So in a way, they have an influence on their people.
There's influence, really.
Okay.
There's followers. Among the followers, there are blind followers and there are core followers. You understand? So in that side, what we need to look at, as you ask the question first, let me just tell you that they used to say there's no hard bread in front of hot tea. If it does depend on how their mathematics, depending on how they work and map the things out, it's very, very much possible. You understand? Because the problem we're having, though even not by admitting, but what I'm trying to say is, as I'm speaking to you today, the major problem or the major political thing that they should focus, if it as far as the opposition is concerned, Nigerians were pushed into poverty, for example.
To vote for?
I think Nigerians were having economical problem nationally, all over Nigeria. There's economic problem. You know about that.
Of course.
So if they can leverage on it, trying to see that they agree to Nigerians, whereby they are completely, people are getting poorer every day and so on. If they can come with tangible manifesto-ship, you understand, and tell Nigerians why they should vote for them, it's very possible they can unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but it's not going to be easy. That's what I'm saying. This is just a probability. Let me just assume, as I'm speaking now, it's like 60-40. Until when they make move, maybe they can be able to make it 50-50. But as now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has upper hand. From what we are seeing presently, he has upper hand. But you can never predict what will happen in the next hour. That's the only thing.
How about if more members of the opposition party they come to APC?
All that is possible. That's what we are seeing now. You understand? But yet, there are people that are just following for now.
You have a feeling they will withdraw?
Yes. Before the end of the year, they are studying. People are studying, and they were by 2026. From the even opinion poll and sampling, people, you yourself, you might be looking at where are we heading to. It's just like what happened in 2023. Before election came, we find out that yes, the political hurricane is moving towards ABC, not any other party. You understand? And those who don't want to follow the other side, but they prepared to follow the winning team, they join Tinubu camp and say, okay, let's go on APC and vote for him. And it happens. That's why Tinubu wins in election in 2023. But mark you, even if Tinubu fails, he's not the only person. He's the second president now that to be removed of office, for example, if it happens. Because Jonathan was removed in 2015. And don't forget, if the time when Jonathan was in office, people keep telling him that you are going to win election. People keep decamping from one party to PDP at that time. All the story they are telling him is that you are going to win election in a landslide victory. But at the end of it, what happened is the reverse is the case. So all these depictions and whatever is not guaranteeing any successes in the next 2027
but
election.
The defection, in course of the defection, they are giving President Bola Ahmed Tinubu their support.
Yes.
And their support counts.
Support counts. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I'm not saying that support didn't count. It counts, definitely. But what we are looking at, we don't know what will happen tomorrow, because what I'm saying, Nigerians on their own, they can decide and leave all those. Most of the political leaders are going east. They can go west.
And you think we can trust the INEC?
Well, INEC is a body that conducts election, and from what we are seeing, there's no reason why Nigeria should not trust INEC. If INEC can using INEC with the election we had in 2015, Jonathan was
okay. So now to you, looking at the election we had in 2023, should we trust INEC?
Yes. For me, I trust INEC, because I believe
Nigerians should
the
trust
2023
INEC,
election,
even with the outcome of the even with the outcome of the election.
Of course, there's no doubt about it. I trust INEC. What they did in 2023, I know it counts. Now, our vote counts. Nigerians say they want APC, and they voted for it. But
recently, Nigerians has been clamoring for the reform of INEC. I wish I've even had, in cases I've had people call on air and say that if INEC is not reformed, they won't vote, because it does look like their votes don't even count.
Yeah, you see, reforms are made by people, you understand? And even if reforms are made, who are going to vote is people that are the same. People are going to vote. So
people are going to vote. What I'm saying is, to an extent, it looks like Nigerians have lost hope in INEC.
No, not all Nigerians. You see, whatever you do, human being is insatiable. The mercy, you have to learn that. There's nothing you can do that you satisfy everybody. Are you with me? INEC conducts election since 1999 to date. You understand? At the same time, people will say, no, this election is rigged.
All right, give me a moment. Let's quickly take this short break. And when we return, you give us more insight on that. Do stay with us.
Sorry.